Anvil Aerospace is a Terra-based spacecraft manufacturing company providing ships for the military and regular civilian use. When it comes to military, Anvil has been reliable delivering military-grade equipment to the UAE Navy for almost 2 centuries. For civilians, Anvil's civilian line is relatively new, a decision that many at the company initially resisted. The general feeling was that producing civilian-grade versions of dedicated military spacecraft would dilute the brand. The most recent addition to the Anvil civilian line is the brand new Anvil Paladin. But hey, I am the biggest bird in the verse, aka FC, and I'd like to welcome everyone old and new back to the channel for another video. Today, we are going to be taking another look at the Anvil Paladin after a month since its initial release. My impression when I first saw the Anvil Paladin was, oh great, another Valkyrie variant but with bigger guns, but boy was I wrong. After flying this thing and being attacked by it a few times, I learned real quickly the Paladin is a bully. Nothing is safe. Hammerheads, Perseuses, constellations. This thing rolls up with the full crew, then you best fly away because this thing can easily take out anyone who stands in its path. Even though the Paladin had a little bit of a hiccup during its initial release after CitizenCon, a month later, currently in Star Citizen 4.4, I see and hear a lot of citizens buzzing about this ship. It is now loved and used quite often. Whenever I hop onto the game to play some Star Citizen, I usually start off my game by screaming "Bok" into the global chat, just to let people know that I am here and ready to socialize and chat. A lot of times people love to ask me questions about what my favorite ships are and why. In the last month, a lot of people has been asking me in the global chat and in the comments of my videos my thoughts on the Paladin. And usually the very first thing I talk about that I really do enjoy about this ship is the sound design. As more ships are entering the verse, you can tell that a lot of them have updated sounds and noises and effects and stuff. Well, the Paladin is one of those ships that just sounds amazing. Really nice to just listen to. When you're flying and cruising at cruising SCM speeds, it's not overpowering to the ear, it just sounds good. Another thing I like is the way how it flies. For a bigger, heftier ship, it does pitch and yaw and strafe pretty nicely. It's not the fastest ship out there, but it sure can handle itself, especially when you have to get into a fight. One of the other things that I do also enjoy is that this ship does have deployable armor, and it doesn't really hinder your vision all that much, and it also adds a little extra HP to your hull, just in case if you didn't know. Also, your co-pilots and your gunners, they really don't need to see out of the main windows because the turrets are remote. So once they actually activate the turrets, they are going to be on the cameras that are attached to those. So on the bottom and the top, you can just always keep the armor activated, so you don't have to actually worry about it. Another thing that I do enjoy about this ship is it's pretty tanky. It can take a hit with just stock components, but of course if you outfit it with military grade components, this thing is a whole nother monster. Boosting up its power supply will give you a lot more shots for the repeaters on the sides, and it's just a monster out there. It is ridiculous how this thing can take on ships that are bigger or in the same weight class. I have completely obliterated hammerheads and redeemers with this ship, which is the vessels that this thing should be pitted against, since they're pretty similar in nature and the way how they function out there in the verse. These are all gunboats, and that is what they all do. But the Paladin with a full crew, lethal. Overall, the Paladin is a great ship that has more positives than negatives, but it is not perfect, so there is going to be a few things that I just don't like about this ship that may resonate with some of you in the verse. The very first thing that I really don't like about the Paladin is that it only has one entry point. If you get into a bind with this ship, there is no quick escape from the sides or from the front or anything like that. You have to run all the way through the entirety of the ship to make your way to the rear hatch just to get out. It's quite literally a choke point. Imagine you get incapacitated, not destroyed, and someone is waiting for you to exit out that back door, or they are entering. They now have you sealed off. They can either wait for you or you can run into them. Either or, someone is going down. And since you only have one way in, you can only go one way out. The next little nitpick I have is not a huge one, but it's one that personally resonates with me. And that is going to be the placement of the cargo grid. I just don't think it's a very optimal location to have it right there on the side. The Paladin holds 4 SCU of cargo. If you're rocking 4 single SCU crates, you will not be able to access to 2 crates in the middle, which is an issue I have ran into by mistake. And yes, I know you can throw 2 size 2 SCU crates in that space instead, but wouldn't it have been easier to have a 2 SCU grid inside of the armory where you could double stack the crates? This would easily allow you to access all 4 SCU if you want to rock individual crates versus 2 SCU crates within the hallway. Now, this next one isn't really a dislike or anything, it's more of a question of how and why. This thing turns about as fast as a Perseus. The Perseus and Paladin have very similar speeds when it comes to pitching and yawing. They're only just a few ticks off, and it confuses me how a ship that is so much smaller than a Perseus handles the same. I would expect it to handle more or less like the Valkyrie or the Asgard, or a good in between. It's not the biggest ship out there. You'd think it would be a little bit more nimble, but I asked myself this question earlier and I was like, well, the engines are pretty tiny on this thing, so maybe that's the reason why. But then it has those huge VTOL thrusters. Maybe if you put it in VTOL mode, it will pitch and yaw faster. I don't know. I haven't messed with it like that yet, but it is an idea. Now that we have gone over some of the things that I like and dislike about the Anvil Paladin, let's now go over some pros and cons that may resonate with you. Starting off with the pros. 1. This ship has lots of firepower. You can fly it solo or with a friend and you guys can pretty much take down anything. 2. It is tanky, can easily take a hit without no issues at all, especially with military grade components. 3. This ship has deployable armor, which actually gives it a slight hull boost just in case you're out there getting hurt. 4. The sound effects, one of the best sounding ships in recent releases in Star Citizen. Now let's go over some of the cons. 1. There is only one entry point. That is a choke point just in case your ship gets incapacitated and you have to escape. 2. Cargo placement. I believe that space is wasted. It could have been used for ship components or other things. Since this ship is so roomy, there is lots of space to place the cargo elsewhere. 3. It pitches and yaws just a little slow for its size. You'd think it would be nimble, but it's not. It's quite horrible actually. 4. Wasted space. Inside of this ship, there is a lot of open room that could be utilized for many things, but instead it's just wasted. Just empty corners with nothing inside of it, just waiting for something to be placed there or to be utilized. The placement of the cargo grid is one of the main factors contributing to the wasted space. Also, the engineering deck, it's absolutely huge. You have so much space to interact with all the ship components. And as nice as that is, I still feel like that space is a little wasted. They could have easily tightened it up a little bit or thrown some extra gun racks or a couple things here or there that could have really utilized majority of that huge amount of space in that room. I don't know. There's just a lot of space in this ship that could be utilized for a lot of things, but it's not. It's nice to be able to walk around freely and be able to access a lot of your components without hassle or anything, but there's just a couple things here or there that I'm just nitpicking at. At the end of the day, I really do enjoy the Paladin and everything about it minus that cargo grid. It's an excellent ship. It flies pretty well, it has a lot of power, and it can just hold it down. Let's talk about why I actually made this video today, and it is more or less for the commemoration of me hitting 10,000 subscribers, 0 to 10,000 in 1 year's time. I am going to be giving away this ship to one lucky citizen in the verse. I'm going to be following the same format that I have been following for my past giveaways, so just keep that in mind. But this one's going to be in a shorter window. If you want to qualify to win this ship, all you got to do is comment on any video I upload from today, December 2nd, all the way to December 15th for a chance to win. This giveaway is going to contain one Anvil Paladin with lifetime insurance, including the Shadowfall paint. Again, this is more or less a thank you for everyone who interacts with my videos, who gives me criticism and feedback to help me grow as a content creator. Again, I couldn't have made it this far in the whole entire content creation game without you. You guys are the ones who makes it happen. But other than that, let me know down below in the comments what you guys think about the Anvil Paladin. Did any of you guys pick one up during IAE, or did you guys just rent it out and test fly it? Let me know down below your thoughts on the ship. But please, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Please slap that like button because it really does allow more eyes to see the biggest bird in the verse. But you guys already know who it is. I am FC, aka Fried Chicken. Big Bird out.